What's going on YouTube? It's krispyENT and I'm back with yet another YouTube video. Hey, I'm super excited for this video today. Without me saying any more, let me go ahead and roll this clip. Now you can see why I'm so excited to bring you guys this build, man. I'm a DPS main. I love DPS, and this just goes hand in hand with DPS because you get hella armor as well. You'll see how I play my skills around to where the survivability fits right in with the DPS. Hey, if you want to stay up to date with everything Path of Exile, too, make sure to drop a like on the video, hit that subscribe button, stay in tune with me. I'm gonna have my socials linked down in the description as well as timestamps for anywhere in the video. All right. With all that being said, let's get right into it. All right, so as you can see, we got our mace strike, base DPS 4.3k. Nothing too crazy. Strike with your mace, you know, something simple. Infernal cry. All right, so infernal cry and seismic cry are basically what I'm using to enhance the buffs on my supercharged and my hammer of the gods. But infernal cry, basically, it's 23% increased war cry speed, empowers the next melee attack you perform, plus an additional attack per endurance charge consumed. I do have endurance charges spec'd into my skill tree, so I think right now I have a max of 2. And basically, when I get those endurance charges, I just pop these cries and it'll consume those charges, enhancing the power of my next attack, you know, even more. So empowered attacks gain 25% of damage as fire damage per 5 power of enemies in range up to 100%. All right, the war cry radius is 4 meters, destabilizes enemies for 8 seconds. Onto the Boneshatter. All right, this is 2.1k DPS. All right, this is basically +2 to melee strike range. Dual wielding both weapons deal 30% less damage. I don't have to worry about that because I have a two-handed mace and it cannot cause stun buildup. So this is basically the attack. Whenever you prime the enemy for stun, you'll see a little icon on their head. You use your Boneshatter then to not only kill that enemy, but it'll basically like chain react. And depending on the range, as you can see, it's +2 to melee strike range, so you don't really have to be right up on the enemy. Okay, so you just hit the enemy with the Boneshatter, boom, and it does like a little shatter effect, and it's like a chain too. It's pretty dope. All right, down to the seismic cry. All right, basically the same thing as the other cry that I told you about. It's empowering my attacks. Okay, this one though is a little different. Okay, it knocks back nearby enemies, and if a heavy stun enemy is hit, my next slam is empowered to perform an additional aftershock. Okay, so if I have a prime target, a heavy stun target, and I hit them with this war cry, you'll see an icon down by where my war cry is. It'll pop up like a 1 or a 2 depending on how many enemies I hit, and that's further increasing the damage on my next attack, also gaining that aftershock as well. On to the supercharged slam. Okay, this is basically your channeling up the charge of a heavy swing. You basically pull your axe back and you're charging it up while it's consuming mana, and then you just slam the ground. It's insane when you see it. All right, impact radius is 1.6 meters, 20% more damage with hits for each stage. There's 3 stages to it. Channeling ends 1 second after reaching maximum stages, and it releases 1 aftershock per stage. So full charged up 3 stages, you got 3 aftershocks coming, and it is insane damage as you've seen in the clip. All right, moving on down to our next skill, we got perfect strike. Okay, I don't really use this as much. This is more so like my leveling, but I kind of keep it on just in case I really do want to proc some fire on someone. This is like instantaneous proc of fire. It converts 40% of physical damage to fire damage. And as you can see, you charge up your weapon while channeling. Releasing the moment you fully charge will release a wave of fire. So when it fully charges, you'll see it begin to blink like a light, you know what I'm saying, to let you know it's fully charged. You release it, boom, that you just ignited that enemy, you know, and now they're ticking to your fire damage. You know, it's pretty nice. Oh, and also there's a timing with this as well. I forgot, with the perfect strike. So if you actually time it and hit it perfectly, you have 844% attack damage, which is an insane buff from the 211 as you see there, right? Converts 80% of physical damage to fire, plus 14 to melee strike range, so you can be a good distance away. And then while dual wielding, I never really pay attention to this because why? I'm always using a two-handed mace. All right, this is a two-handed mace and it always ignites. Okay, so this is a great skill to keep on, which is why I haven't taken it off. Okay, it's a good fallback skill. Herald of Ash, this is the beginning of our 2 passives that we're running that are going to use spirit. Also, as you can see, I have 30 spirit remaining too, so this build, I'm only level 60. All right, this build, it can be further enhanced. I just want to drop this and let you guys know the type of damage that it's doing now when I'm approaching getting ready for endgame. All right, so Herald of Ash, while active, enemies you sufficiently overkill with attacks will cause an explosion that ignites nearby enemies based on the overkill damage dealt. Okay, it doesn't seem like it's much, but it is insane in terms of like finishing the crowd control. All right, when you prime those enemies, you get everybody ready for the stun damage or the big hammer slam or whatever it is. That aftershock explosion is ridiculous. It also just helps clear up anything on the map. All right, onto the leap slam. This is basically like my main attack in a sense. All right, I use this to traverse. I also use this to just kind of start the enemies off. When early leveling, you'll notice that this slam is just enough damage to get them primed, so you'll be doing a lot of slam straight into bone shatter. All right, slam, bone shatter, slam, bone shatter. All right, but then you'll start to see your slam does too much damage. You'll start to do a little bit too much damage, so then you'll slam, hit 1 or 2, or you'll slam, war cry, you know, seismic cry, and then bone shatter. You know what I'm saying? And then the elites come, drop the hammer, however you want to play it. All right, onto the scavenge plating. Okay, this is just another thing to help with the survivability. Uses fragments of armor scavenged from enemies to bolster your own. Fully breaking an enemy's armor grants you a stack of scavenge plating for duration, and you gain armor and thorns per stack. Okay, scavenge plating duration is 8 seconds, 4% more armor per scavenge plating, maximum 10 scavenged plating, and 22 to 32 thorns per scavenged plating. All right, on to the Hammer of Gods. This, along with our supercharged slam, is our main sources of DPS in terms of like bossing. All right, this is our boss killers right here: supercharged slam and Hammer of Gods. Okay, entreats the ancestors to crush your enemies, manifesting a massive hammer that falls from the sky onto your target, slamming into the ground after a short duration and dealing immense damage based on your weapon. So as you can see, this goes hand in hand with your weapon. I do have 10% quality boost, but look at that attack damage. All right, 1619% attack damage. All right, this skill is insane. All right, it's only level 13 right now. Like I said, I'm only level 60, but this thing gets it done. But yeah, this is basically my setup for my skills. I'm probably gonna be moving some things around as I continue to level, and from here let's get on over to those support gems. All right, for the support gems on my mace strike, as you can see, I have Ruthless, Overpower, and Rage. Ruthless is basically every 5th use of supported attacks causes 500% more stun buildup. Remember, we're all about that stun buildup, priming for stuns. All right, so we can get that bone shatter, heavy AoE explosion, you know. On to Overpower. Hits with supported skills cost 50% more stun buildup. All right, so hey, stun, you know what I'm saying? And then supported skills grant 3% rage on melee hit. Remember, those infernal cries and seismic cries, they're consuming rage if possible. So I'm gonna be stacking rage wherever I can, so that when I'm getting them ready for stuns, I'm also gaining rage, so that when I do my cries, not only are my cries empowering my next attack, they're also consuming rage to further empower. Okay, so that's even more stacks towards the next attack. You know what I'm saying? It's insane. So my support gems for my Infernal Cry, we got Premeditation and we have Raging Cry. Okay, Premeditation, skills empowered by supported skills deal 15% more damage. Pretty simple. And supported skills grant 4 rage per 5 power of counted enemies in range. All right, so I'm also gaining rage when I'm popping these cries. Like, it's just, this build just goes so hand in hand. I cannot wait to see where I'm at when I'm really hitting those in-game maps. Supported skills for Bone Shatter, we got Magnified Effect, Impact Shockwave, and Armor Explosion. All right, supported skills have 40% more area of effect. Supported skills create an aftershock when they heavy stun an enemy, dealing the same damage to enemies within 2 meters. And then supported skills trigger an explosion when they fully break an enemy's armor. All right, Bone Shatter, this is perfect for Bone Shatter. These all go hand in hand for, like I said, creating and helping with that AoE. All right, we got the area of effect, you know what I'm saying? We got the aftershock on the heavy stun enemies, and then we're fully breaking the enemy's armor too. So, you know, this is just perfect for Bone Shatter. Don't think of Bone Shatter as a DPS. All right, this is a finisher. All right, Bone Shatter is a finisher. Supported gems for Seismic Cry. All right, we got Ingenuity and we have Enraged War Cry. Supported skills have 30% increased cooldown recovery rate. Perfect. And supported war cries consume up to 10 rage, causing attacks empowered by them to deal 30% more damage. All right, 30% more damage. That is insane, on top of the damage we're already gaining from popping these cries for our next attack. All right, so just think, man, we're gonna get 10 rage in probably 1 to 2 hits, if that. Not to mention, if we pop our Infernal Cry, we might just already be at 10 rage. Boom, now we pop our Seismic Cry and we have 30% more damage on top of the damage we've already just got for our next attack. Okay, like I said, it all comes full circle. All right, our support gems for the supercharged slam, we got Fist of War, Hourglass, and Heft. Okay, attacks with supported skills are ancestrally boosted no more than once every 6 seconds. Supported skills deal 40% more damage with a 10-second addition to cooldown. All right, I'm willing to take that. Okay, and then Heft, supported skills have 30% more maximum physical damage. All right, I don't think you can go any better with support gems. All you can do is add on more. Okay, these got to be 3 of the best support gems to run for this skill specifically. All right, on to the Perfect Strike. Got Window of Opportunity, Fire Infusion, and Eternal Flame. Supporter skills have 25% shorter perfect timing window. All right, supporter skills deal 50% more damage when released with perfect timing. Look, this is just adding on top of when we get that perfect strike. As you see, man, the damage was already there. You feel me? So this support gem is perfect for it. Fire infusion. Support attacks gain 25% of damage as extra fire damage. All right, and we're gonna deal less cold and lightning. Don't even have to worry about that. We don't got cold and lightning anywhere on this build. Okay. Eternal flame. Supporter skills have 100% increased ignite duration on enemies, but supporter skills have 25% less chance to ignite. Don't really got to worry about that. It's 100% chance to ignite, so I guess 75, but I don't even know if the numbers in this game always be adding up. You feel me? On the Herald of Ash, we got Fire Mastery and we got Cannibalism. All right, for our Fire Mastery, pretty simple, 1 level to supported fire skills, nothing too crazy. And Cannibalism, all right, 4% of life recovered on kill while a supported skill is active. As you can see, this is an additional reservation of 15 spirit. All right, so for Leap Slam, we got Martial Tempo, Holy Descent, and Momentum. Okay, so for Martial Tempo, supported skills have 25% more attack speed, so we're able to pop that Leap Slam a lot faster, traverse around the map a lot faster, and if shit gets sticky, we can get out of the situation a lot faster. Holy Descent, supported skills create consecrated ground for 4 seconds on landing. All right, consecrated ground, if you don't know, you and ally standing in your consecrated ground regenerate 5% of maximum life per second, and curses have 50% reduced effect on them. All right, so this is a W, man. This just helps with that survivability. On the momentum, after moving at least 2 meters during a single use of supported skill, the rest of that use deals 40% more damage. All right, beautiful. Scavenge plating, supported gems for scavenge plating. We got persistence. Supported skills have 40% more skill effect duration. All right, and we got physical mastery, +1 level to supported physical skills. That's self-explanatory. Onto the hammer of gods. This is what is used to make this DPS go through the roof. All right, we got concentrated effect, heavy swing, and brutality. Okay, concentrated effect. Supported skills deal 40% more area damage. Supported skills have 50% less area of effect. We don't got to worry about that because, hey, this is a one shot. All right, we got to keep them stationary. Majority of the time, we're proccing this when they're stunned. On a heavy swing, supported skills deal 35% more melee physical damage. And then supported skills have 10% less attack speed. Attack speed, we don't got to worry about this. Waiting on this thing to drop anyway. You know what I'm saying? And brutality, supported skills deal 35% more physical damage, no chaos and no elemental. No worries, all we need is physical. You feel me? All right, so that's gonna do it for my support gems right now. Hey, at any point in time, if you guys like have any information, don't gotta be a dick about it. I really wouldn't care if you were anyway, but help me out down in the comments. All right, as you can see, I probably don't come off as the most knowledgeable guy in these type of games, but I do love these games. All right, I'm trying to get into them. I love the build crafting, the build making, and the build diversity. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, let's stay positive. I appreciate y'all helping me out, man. Let's get into the gear. All right, so as for the gear, Hypnotic Blunt, Advanced Oak, Great Hammer. This is my two-handed mace I'm running. As you can see, I got max quality, physical damage, fire damage, critical hit chance 5%. Attacks per second, 1 second, basically. All right, I do have 20% increased physical damage and 100% to accuracy rating on this. I got causes 31% increased stun buildup. I have basically spec'd majority into physical damage. I've got 7 to 16 fire damage, as well as some crit damage bonus, and then a little bit of survivability, 7 life per enemy killed. All right, basically just everything that you're gonna see spec'd is spec'd into whatever I can for my skills and my passive tree, okay, which is basically physical damage, fire damage, stun buildup. You feel me? Armor is gonna come. The armor is basically within the build. It's all in the passive tree, and then you'll see on my other gear pieces, I have my armor as well. Moving on to the helmet, I've got 20% increased armor, evasion, and energy shield on here. 67% increased armor and evasion, max life, strength, dexterity, and life regen per second. Chest piece, fire resistance and lightning resistance. 209 to armor, 31% increased armor, 20 max life, 23% fire resistance, 17 cold, and 19 lightning resistance. All right, for my amulet, I just picked this up like not even 2 hours ago. Okay, 17% increased rarity of items, 29% increased armor, 71 max life, 47 to spirit, 20 to strength, 3.8 life regeneration per second, and 53% increased mana regeneration rate. All right, looking good. Onto my 2 rings. Okay, I got 30% lightning resistance, 21% increased fire damage, 12 evasion, 76 max mana, 29% fire resistance, 22% cold resistance, and 10.5 life regen per second. All right, my other ring, 10%. This one was actually a pickup yesterday too, and I really like this one. 10% to all elemental resistances. I got physical damage, fire damage, as well as evasion on here. I've got intel, and then cold and chaos resistance. All right, everything's basically matched up. I think I went chest, this ring and then this ring, because I had a different ring on before, which is why you only see cold resistance on here. In Endgame, basically Act 3 Endgame, we're sitting at 69% fire, 63% lightning, and 47% cold. Don't really have too much energy shield. I'm gonna, you know, work on that for when I get to those maps, so please do not beat my ass about that. All right, so onto the gloves. We got the Skull Fist Gold Cast Cuffs. All right, I got 20% increased armor, evasion, and energy shield, 76% increased armor and energy shield, 14 to 18 fire damage, 10 max life, 5% increased attack speed, 7 in strength, and 5 life per enemy hit with attacks. All right, these are not that good of a pair of gloves. I know you don't have to beat me up about it. I will be in the market for a new one, okay? And I do mean the market. You hear what I'm saying? Onto the belt and boots, man. So for my belt, I'm running 137 to armor, another 106 to armor, 64 max life, 50% increased flash mana recovery rate, 18 to strength, 11% fire resistance, and 9% reduced charm charges used. All right, onto the boots. My boots, you already know we gotta have as much movement speed as possible. 25% is the most I've found. I do have 20% increased armor, evasion, and energy shield, as well as 32% increased armor and evasion, 42 max mana, 24% fire resistance, 22 lightning resistance, and 50% reduced shock duration on you. All right, so for the boots and the cuffs, as you can see, I can have better pieces of gear, maybe even the belt. You know what I'm saying? I will be in the market for these three, but yeah, that's basically my gear. Pretty good standpoint. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, any tips will be appreciated wherever you guys want to help out at. I do appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get into the passive tree. All right, so for my passive tree, as you can see, I've chose the Titan Ascendancy. All right, as of right now, I think I started out 1, 2, and then I went 1, 2, and now I am 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up right here. So we got the strength as well as colossal capacity, strength, and then hulking form. So colossal capacity, carry a chest, which adds 20 inventory slots, and then hulking form, 50% increased effect of small passive skills. All right, so for the passive, as you can see, I basically took the route of melee damage, physical damage, area of effect. All right, stun build up to any type of strength, anything where the attributes come in. I did my strength as much as possible, and any of these you see was basically to get to a point of I can put that piece of gear on. All right, so what I've been thinking of is I'm probably gonna get my cuffs, use my cuffs to add a little bit of dexterity, and then I'm probably gonna change these to my strength attributes. You know, so this build definitely still has a long way to go. Make sure to get your screenshots in, but this build has a long way to go. All right, I kind of still look at this as like the start. This isn't anything too crazy. One thing I do want to point out though is shattering blow and breakage. These are kind of going to help keep your scavenge plating procced, not really at all times, but it's going to help keep it procced like a lot of the time. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you at least if you can get that shattering blow and that breakage in there. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's gonna do it for the build video today. Make sure to drop those likes, hit that sub button. I'm gonna be covering everything Path of Exile 2, doing as many build videos as I can. All right, maybe we can get into guides and learning this and that about the game as well. That's it for me, man. I hope y'all stay up, stay blessed. It's krispyENT, and I'm up out of here.